Sound speeding? Little guy, big girl, episode 16. Take one and only. Hello. What up?
Hi. I was feeling like so spicy right before this started.
Mm-hmm.
I just want you guys to know that I am trying this new thing where I do a double shift at work. Yes, I'm going to be talking quietly because I feel like I'm falling asleep in this comfy.
Mm-hmm.
And in my second shift of the day, I decided I was going to look really cute. Okay, and I put on pants that did not fit over my bodacious booty. Bodacious booty.
Mm-hmm.
And I wore it for you guys, and I looked really cute in my outfit, but my legs are on fire, and they really hurt, so.
Right.
Anyway.
So what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking some iced water.
Mm-hmm. Why the wine glass? Because you did specifically ask for it.
Honestly, because I've been stalking Victoria Beckham a lot because, you know, she's really cool, I guess.
Does she drink it out of the water?
I think it's tequila. I think she just doesn't drink alcohol that has any carbs in it. So she only drinks
carbs?
like
I know nothing
like
about
tequila and like water and ice. Like tequila and ice.
Does alcohol have carbs in it?
Doesn't it?
I don't know. I literally have no idea.
I don't know. All I know is like when you stop drinking alcohol, you lose weight.
I know that alcohol has like certain alcohols can have more calories or sugars. I don't know about. I have no idea. Anyway, how's your week been going? How do you like the new schedule? Is it weird for you? Do you feel better about it?
This is Monday.
Yeah, but you would only be doing it 3 days a week.
Yeah, so I don't know how I feel about it yet. I think.
How did you feel? I mean, the one day is done. How did you feel? How do you feel right now?
I think it depends how tonight ends.
What?
I like had this whole plan that, you know, I was going to be so ready and spontaneous and ready to podcast. But once you pressed play, my energy levels went way down.
This tends to happen sometimes.
To me?
No, just in general.
No, I get it.
We feel like
I get it. You're right. I am like so on it, and then
or
no, I'm not. I know what you're saying.
We feel rev. Say it again when I talk.
Anyway, how was your week? I want to know for real.
It's Monday, so again.
How was your last week? I don't know. How was your last week? I'm gonna really miss you when I leave. For real.
We're gonna be apart this week, and it's gonna be really difficult. Touch my tip with your tip.
I didn't like that.
I did. Yeah, my week was good. I'm trying to think what happened. Nothing much. I mean, I guess just like getting caught up with work, trying to organize stuff for the podcast in the upcoming weeks. Why the fuck are you laughing at me right now?
I'm so gone. Like I'm not even here right now.
I know.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I can see it in your eyes.
Really?
You're somewhere else. You're on a different planet.
Yeah.
But honestly, this is good. I've been waiting for a Sleepy Sophia podcast because those are the best. Those are the most unhinged moments.
Yeah, but I don't feel unhinged. Like if you ask me anything, like I'll fucking do whatever. But
if you had to kill one member of your friends, who would you kill? Your friends, the people you love.
The people I love. My friends.
You're thinking of a real answer, so you say it, and then we're gonna cut.
I'm not gonna say it because I genuinely don't know. Like, yeah.
You do know.
My closest, dearest friends. Yeah. You know what I think about that? There was this concept that one of my close friends, who I've been friends with since birth, told me. Mm-hmm. And she said that you have like these originals, right? And that's the group of people that you were born with. And within each ring of your life, you basically add on more to that, and like fewer and fewer stick.
Oh, interesting.
And I think that like my best friends are the ones that I was just born into being with them, because they know me at my truly unhinged. I think right now, genuinely at this point of my life, I'm not a good friend.
Well, how would you define that? What do you mean by that?
Because first of all, I don't think I'm a fun friend to have.
I think you go through stages of your life where
I think that stage has been passed for a while.
Yeah, you're in a stage where
and
you prefer to be inside.
I kind of wish that I was...
You prefer to hermit, like a little crab.
I've always preferred to hermit, but it's like, I have no drama in my life right now.
Maybe that's for the best,
so
you
boring.
think?
No, it's not if you want to do this. Like, I got on this podcast today, and I thought to myself, what tea can I stir up with Aaron? Like, what fight can I bring up?
But maybe we can just have a conversation, and this can be nice. It can maybe just be nice.
I know that you
have a nice
want
time.
it to be nice and have a nice time, but people don't want to watch that.
I think people do. I think there's a certain percentage of people
maybe
who just want
people
nice
like
things.
you, but that's like 1 in a million. I didn't mean to say that in a nice way. That made me throw up in my mouth.
That was a backwards compliment, because surface level, you were calling me a fucking outcast. You meant 1 in a million as an outcast, but that's like the nicest thing you could actually say to a person. So I'm going to take it as the compliment you didn't mean it to be.
This is what I've realized, okay? My life was terrible in high school. Like, I hated my life. I cried in the bathroom. I ate out of my thermos lunch in the bathroom stall and cried to my mom my senior year almost every day. And Annie had to come knocking on the stall, checking on me. Annie is one of my originals, okay? And I also, like, lived for the drama in my life. Like, I was the main character. And I know that it sounds narcissistic, but I kind of wish I still lived like that. And maybe it was toxic.
Eating in the bathroom?
No. I still do that, but...
Do you?
You know,
Don't answer that.
Not lately, actually.
That's good. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, I like just romanticized my life so much, you know? And I feel like I was waiting until this moment. And now I'm here, and it's just not what I expected.
Waiting for what moment? Like,
okay, I don't know if I talked about this on the last podcast, but I went home probably like 2 months ago now. And I like went to this bar closing, right?
Right.
And I saw all these people that I knew from grammar school, from
the olden days.
From the olden days. And I thought in my little dream of dreams, when I was like a little 8th grader messing around, I thought I was going to go back to these people and be like, this is my glamorous life.
Right.
And they were all going to be like, wow, we wish that we didn't tease her, you know? And I couldn't even like say that. I was like, I work at a Pilates studio. I'm trying to make it, but I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that every podcast I give is about that, but that's literally my life right now. I'm sorry.
No, that's
You're
fine.
bored by me.
I'm not at all.
It's okay.
This is your honest truth.
I'm bored by me too. That's the thing.
See, I don't
nothing spicy is going on, and I'm this close to uprooting my entire life and destroying it just to have some flavor.
That's exactly the point that I was getting to. I think that there's a certain percentage of it that is based on, you know, these goals that you want in your life, but I also think a certain percentage of you just wants chaos and destruction. You're the Joker.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you right now.
No. You sit on the money. They just give you the money. They give you the $500 million, and you burn it in flames. You're a Joker. You burn it in flames, see the reaction for the drama. You're
yes.
Joker.
Yeah, maybe I am the Joker.
Should have been that. You should have been. Yep. You smile in the mirror and cry.
I do.
I've seen you do that.
I do that for dramatic effect.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron, yes, I want the chaos. I want the drama. Like, my life is really okay right now. Like, I'm in a stable relationship for 3 years. I have a cat. Like, I think my quarter life crisis is hitting or something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's what it is?
I don't think it's quarter life crisis, but there's like a very real, oftentimes depression after the structure of life, of like youth, where like everything is just tailored for you. Because basically from 0 to if you go to college to when you graduate is.
But I don't even know how to create the drama that I need. And I think that I'm going to go home and do it.
Yeah, I'm so terrified for your family that has to deal with the literal baggage that is getting on that plane. I'm not talking about the carry-on. Thank God TSA exists these days, because
right.
flying that one right into Oracle.
That's not even funny. You know I would never die on purpose.
I know. You taking the wheel, not in like a terrorism way, but like in like it's like a bird flies in the engine.
Like a Jesus takes the wheel.
No, it's like when the birds fly into the engine. You know how every movie the birds fly in the engine.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh my God, what are they gonna do? No, you're not the bird. You're the person who's like, well, we don't know what to do. The pilots, they've all passed out. We need a passenger to take over. And it's Sophia. And it's like, and then you have to fly it into the Hudson River. You're Sully. Or you're like maybe you're more like Denzel.
I don't really care what you're saying because I don't understand any of the movie references that you make ever.
Don't worry about it.
And whatever. They'll understand because they are you. When I imagine people watching this podcast, I just imagine little you.
Like 100 me?
Because who likes me the most out of everyone? It's you.
Right.
You're genuinely like freaking obsessed with me.
Uh-huh.
I know you are. That's why this relationship has worked for so long.
That's true.
But, I chose right. Because if I chose someone who wasn't obsessed with me, then I'd be having a crazy, chaotic life right now.
Yeah.
And that'd be so not good.
Right. But there is like, oh my God, that's so scary when you do that. The structured life of like,
I love you to death. Okay.
The structured life of 0 to college is you have everything laid out for you. You go to school, you just focus on that. You hang out with your friends, you focus on that because it's like, oh, I'm just going to keep going to school. I'm going to go to college. And then in college, you're doing whatever the fuck you do there. And then you graduate. And then now you're like, oh, shoot. Now it's not even like, what do I do? Because we know what to do. It's just like.
But I don't know what to do.
You might not have like.
Like today, when you saw Olivia Rodrigo walking down the street today.
Mm-hmm.
I have a confession to make.
Okay.
When you saw her and you were like, yeah, that's just crazy. She's like the most famous person that we've ever seen. And she just skyrocketed to fame out of nowhere. I felt a little pang of jealousy in that moment.
Why on earth did you feel jealous of Olivia
I just want to be transparent with my emotions here.
That's fair.
This is a safe space and I just want to be open. I feel jealous of literally everyone lately. Uh-huh. And it's toxic. And I think I think I'm just trying to have like some sort of toxic trait to like people ask me what's going on at work.
Yeah.
And I can't tell them anything.
Say right now is what's happening. You're at work.
This is why you don't have any work friends.
It's true.
Anyway, I just feel like I know I've been bringing up drama lately, and I will continue to do so.
I love how, like, the interesting thing in that story is not. We'll get into how we made that perspective about Sophia's moral conundrum. But the interesting part of that story, where are you looking when you look out?
I don't know.
It's really scary. The interesting part of that story was you texted me, Aaron, I think I just saw Olivia Rodrigo.
I did.
You were at work. Obviously, that was confirmed. However, you're at work and you have to look outside your, I was like, I 80% believed you like when I saw Tristan Thompson. That's how much I believed you.
I still don't believe you saw Tristan Thompson.
Well, because
There's no way I missed that.
Because there was no dual factor authentication with that. We just had yours say, I still need to see it in the flesh. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll leave now. Then I left, and then I walk down the street, and I just see the silhouette of a figurine that looks like of how Olivia Rodrigo would market herself to look on a public appearance.
She was looking very Olivia Rodrigo, though she cut her hair.
She did.
She's so pretty. She has like porcelain skin.
Mm-hmm.
I look like a sweaty fucking mess.
Mm-hmm. Me too. You don't look like a mess. I wasn't confirming.
Continue.
I was affirming your feelings. I wasn't.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Okay. Yeah, so it's big ass bodyguard. It's funny when people have bodyguards because I've never actually recognized someone and then seen their protection.
I didn't get to see her bodyguard.
He was the most fascinating part because she was just with it. That must be such an interesting life because
I've thought about this actually because
being a bodyguard.
No.
Okay.
I could never be a bodyguard. Though it would be pretty indiscreet. I've thought, like, when I go on my walks by myself, I'm like, oh my God, when I'm famous, I'm going to have to hire someone to walk with me. And then Aaron won't have to walk with me anymore. And then I've thought, okay, I must have to be their best friend because they're going to hear everything that I talk about. Yes. Do you think that you can I can't ignore when someone is there. Like, if we're in a restaurant and, like, people are talking loudly or something.
Yeah, but that is what bodyguards do. It
makes me really nervous.
But that's what bodyguards do.
No, not mine. My bodyguard will be like Morgan.
Uh-huh.
Like, I think a little bit interested in my life.
But that'll be a choice. Most bodyguards probably do not want to be involved in your life.
I think they do. I think that's why they do it, for the tea.
I think it probably pays well.
That's true. To be a bodyguard, though, you're putting your life at risk every single day. And what are you really getting in reward? Just money?
Yes.
You really think everyone just does everything for money, huh?
Do you think they would do it for free?
No, I don't think anyone would do anything for free.
Okay.
Except for maybe me.
I'm not saying that they probably don't have, like, a potential interest in it, but, like, I don't think that...
But I don't think the sole reason is the money. I think that they're interested in the lives of the celebrities.
I don't think you wake up one morning and go, oh, I'm going to be the bodyguard of Olivia Rodrigo. I think you work jobs. You do, like, adjacent things. Perhaps you were, like, a cop. Perhaps you were doing something related to, security. And then, through that
But you have
grapevine,
to dedicate your whole life to that person.
From that point on, yeah.
So there goes your family, there goes your children, there goes your own dreams. You become the shadow of Olivia Rodrigo.
That's true. That is true.
You need something more than money to get to that point.
Speak again?
Hello?
We're out in... Oh, what's going on? Hello. Everything's good right now. Just... I thought something was wrong with the recording. Everything's fine with the recording. Turns out, right before the podcast started, Sophia stepped on the headphones, and they broke. So everything's good with the recording. Sophia just broke the
nice equipment. But hey, what's better than more overhead for this goddamn podcast that we are spending irresponsible amounts of money on? Nothing is the answer. Absolutely nothing. So, nope. No one else here. Just me. I'm alone. Yay. Okay.
It's no one's fault. It's just someone might have stepped on them right before the podcast started.
I fell.
Uh-huh.
We're going to skip that part.
Okay.
Because that was rude of you.
I thought the recording failed, but no, it's just...
You don't even look like yourself right now.
What does that mean?
You look like Jimmy Neutron.
Okay. Anyway, the shadow of a bodyguard. If you are essentially a bodyguard, you're right. You're essentially a shadow and an extension of that person. However, I don't know if you initially become the bodyguard of someone because perhaps...
Look, it's like working for the royal family.
Sure.
There's a reason why you do it aside from the money.
That
Maybe
I agree
it's the
with.
prestige. But honestly, like if you're Olivia Rodrigo's bodyguard, it's not even the same as being... it doesn't even come with the same prestige as the royal family because like Olivia Rodrigo doesn't want you to know that she has a bodyguard. The royal family does.
But they don't give like an expose on their bodyguards, do they?
No, but I feel like... Didn't Diana sleep with one or something?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just speculating. I'm not making any claims.
On a dead woman's name.
I love Diana. I love her.
I'm not questioning your affinity for... What's up?
That's because I was obsessed with Victoria Beckham. The Markles, a.k.a. Meghan and Harry...
Right.
They're no longer friends with the Beckhams anymore.
What the fuck does this have to do with anything we were talking about?
I just wanted you to know. I just wanted you to know. I'm sorry.
I'm literally not upset at all. I was just very confused by that transition.
Well, it just made me think of the royal family, and then I thought of the Markles, and then I thought of... Because I was talking about Victoria Beckham with her little drink and everything, so... I just wanted you to know that they don't like each other anymore. They're not speaking anymore. They're not friends anymore.
But unrelated
which is where I get all of my information.
Right. Unrelated, though, to anything bodyguard.
Well, it had to do with the royal family. Segue.
And royal family has bodyguards. Got it.
I don't know, Aaron.
I understand. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be flaming you right now.
No, flame me. Literally light me on fire. Watch me burn. I don't know.
But
I actually want you to do that tonight. Right now. So I need to spice things up a bit.
It was... Yeah. Anyway. Bodyguard... It was interesting to see that because I've never seen that before.
Right. And you were scared?
No, I wasn't scared. It was interesting because, yeah, this person is like standing 10 feet away, but it wasn't inconspicuous. I mean, perhaps because they were literally walking down a residential street. It wasn't like amongst people, but he like black cap on, wearing all black, very much He eyed me. He thought I was a threat.
Because you look like a
but
threat.
Very quickly realized I was not. One look, he was like, one look of intention, and then went, nah, he's nothing.
He's safe.
He's absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Olivia Rodrigo could beat the fuck out of this guy.
She's so small, though.
She definitely could. Doesn't take much.
I feel so much larger than you. Like, I feel so much larger than you.
I think that even if I am physically bigger than a person...
Sometimes it makes me insecure.
It's you oftentimes portray yourself as like a massive individual.
I am because
you are five.
No, this is also what I figured out when I saw Olivia Rodrigo.
Okay.
She walked down the street and I saw this tiny thing. Her ice cream cone was bigger than her face. And I thought to myself,
she was very small.
I thought Olivia Rodrigo was tall.
Okay, I never thought that.
No, but I thought she was bigger than she was.
Right.
So when you're on screen, you're seen as bigger than you are. I'm massive to these people. I'm
What?
huge.
What the hell are you talking about?
I am. I know that I look so tall. I look so large.
She's tiny. She's actually a tiny person.
Yeah, but you wouldn't think that watching her music videos.
Because she's on a big screen? She looks tiny.
She looks skinny, but she doesn't look short.
She does look short to me. You think she would be tall? It is hard to conceptualize. What I will say is, it is hard to conceptualize, like when you see like Tom Cruise on screen. It's hard to conceptualize what his height will be in real life.
I especially feel that when I see people like
I thought you were going to
famous
say
people.
specifically about Olivia Rodrigo.
No,
With her, she's a fucking
I
giant.
haven't seen her long enough, but when I see people like famous people or people in movies, like whatever, come into the Pilates studio, they are like aggressively smaller than I.
Actors are small people, typically.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not a small person.
you are
I'm not
small.
small. I'm not 5
You are not
foot.
tall.
I'm 5'5",
This
and
is
that
not-
is too tall to
you're
be an actor.
talking
Don't
like-
you understand that,
You're talking like you're 6'5".
Aaron?
You acting like you're tall
You
girl.
can't be 6'5".
You
and
acting
be
like
an
you're tall
actor.
girl.
I'm tall, and I'm not
You're not.
this thin. I'm not this thin.
You're not 5'10".
So-
if even if you were like 5'8", if you were 5'10", I'd be like, that's tall. You're ranging on tall. That is like
5'5" is tall.
objectively tall.
5'5" is tall when you compare it to the people that I'm surrounded by, which are short people. I
You-
live and breathe short people.
Yeah, your family are shorter.
You're
I'm short.
tiny. You're tiny. You're so small.
I know.
Like, I think sometimes do you want just like a petite little thing in your arms? Do you want that? Do you want that?
No.
Because you've had that before.
Oh my god. You are unhinged tonight.
Aaron, we knew it was going to get to this point. And we knew that I'm craving chaos.
Yeah, you are.
Like, really badly.
I know.
I might do something destructive.
Oh god. Like what?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But yeah, that was I guess the most interesting thing that happened today.
Anyway, I want to apologize about what I said earlier about AI.
What? Why?
Because rethinking that episode, I've been rethinking that a lot.
Okay.
And I just want to say that Aaron's right.
What did I say?
Everything he said was correct.
What did
and
I say?
I give up.
What did I say?
You said that the AI technology will eventually benefit us, right?
Yeah.
And I think that I am like a person that's terrified of technology, and I was speaking from fear, not from education. And what I was saying, it was just not smart. And
That's not
I know that
true.
I don't sound smart right now, but I was completely reacting on my fear. And I think recently,
Uh-huh.
I've felt really out of place just in general.
Uh-huh.
I felt kind of like a little outsider all over again.
Right.
And I definitely feel that way sometimes with technology.
That I have seen before. That's why I want to get you an iPad. I think you need an iPad. I think the keyboard is what trips you up.
The keyboard. No. It's really hard for me to type on an iPad keyboard. I've tried. It's like really difficult to type on
But
an iPad.
it's a little simpler.
No, I've used an iPad. They're just as confusing. I had to
Really?
go to an iPad class.
What?
Everyone had to do it.
Oh, okay.
It's just really hard for me.
Got it.
The point is that I just want to apologize for what I said about AI.
Why would you need to apologize? Most people are very upset about it. And
But most people don't have the wonderful Aaron Klein to educate them. And
Well,
I do, and I have that privilege, and I need to
have that
acknowledge that.
Jesus Christ, Sophia.
I'm being serious. I'm being really serious. And I don't like it when you call me by my full name. I don't.
That's when you know it's serious.
No, that's when you know that you're making fun of me.
When I say your full name,
Yes.
it's either that or I'm not happy with you.
No. Really?
What?
What do you say when you're not happy with me?
Sophia.
No. Did you add a Latin accent when you said that?
I didn't intend on it.
It came
But if
out.
it came out, then. Ay, ay, ay.
When you're mad at me, you just don't speak to me. And that really hurts.
I get that from my mom.
I know.
The silence I get from my mom. The outbursts I get from my father.
So what do you prefer? Like if I yell at you, or if I walk away in silence? What do you handle better?
It depends how far we go with the yelling.
You know what I think I'm going to do next time I'm mad at you?
Oh, no. What?
I think I'm just not going to talk to you for a full day.
Okay.
See, like, you know, about this thing about me is
Yeah.
like when I'm like really in love with someone,
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to talk to them for a day and see if they notice, and they never do. I don't think you would care.
It would frustrate me.
I think you'd be like, oh, she's just being stupid.
No, because to the point of where you are silent is where you're like, I cannot speak to this person, which is objectively more frightening than when you're getting yelled at.
I think I'm scarier when I yell.
Yeah, you're terrifying.
I don't know if I can like do the deadly silent thing.
I've seen you do it, not for a long time, but I've seen you do it for a little bit, where you pace, and then you're silent. The pacing is what's nerve-wracking, because for some reason the steps get louder. That's what I think I've broken it down to recently.
Really?
It's not necessarily the silence, it's the steps.
Oh.
Because sometimes you go, heel toe. It'll go heavy on the toe, so you'll just hear them.
I don't think I have that lot of steps.
You don't. You really do not. It's only when we go full silence, because you need to speak. You need to express somewhere, and sometimes it just goes to the feet. That's what it heightens the fear. So you're doing a great job.
I think the worst that I ever feel is when I can't speak.
Yeah, I agree.
And I've been feeling that way lately. Like I can't express myself. I can't like right now, I just feel numb.
But you're cute as a button.
Well, I think you like it when I'm numb.
Oh my god.
You can bleep
Sometimes
that one out.
Sometimes you've been saying things.
You can bleep that out. I said that for dramatic effect.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. Yeah. Well, it's okay. I go through weeks where I'm feeling less, feeling more.
Anyway, are you afraid of the AI thing at all or not?
Oh, we're going back there. Yeah. Okay. And I don't want to like nerd out too long about this, because I did that literally the whole last podcast, and it was so annoying editing it, which I actually used AI to edit the whole thing. AI edited our whole podcast.
Mm-hmm.
How did you? What was
I
the
appreciate
exhale?
that, because I'm not going to be able to edit it.
I wasn't able to do it. It was an hour long of multi-camera. Who could possibly have the time for that? And it's crazy because you just like,
I don't know. There's no editors in LA. I can't find any.
you've just put.
So if you know any, let me know.
So if you put just the camera and you attach it to the sound,
Mm-hmm.
it just literally cuts it
Mm-hmm.
for you. It does it in like 10 seconds. It's crazy. So for like those types of tools, we wouldn't have had a podcast last week if it wasn't for that. And like we're tiny little guys over here at the base consumer level, and we were able to use that to our advantage to fucking put out a podcast that 128 people viewed at the time of this video. That being said, at the studio level, once you get to people who have like ungodly amounts of money, and this is how I feel generally about just employers, and I was ranting about this earlier, it's like any business owner because I think most business owners are typically bad people to a certain degree, because they want to maximize their own profits, but they're employing people who are depending on fair wages to live, they're going to give them the least amount of money that they possibly can work around giving them. It's like, let's say you get like a raise at work and you're like, oh my God, like I'm making a lot more money. They are still making way more money. So that being said, I think that AI, people will get fucked over, but I think that people who are, and it's always been this way, people who are willing to embrace change, I think those people will find success.
I think that you're such a person who is willing to embrace change, and I think that's a really admirable thing about you. Like, you're just always so ready for like the next thing to happen.
Yeah.
And I think that that's why you're so talented and so smart.
That really?
Yeah, because I think that you you don't get attached to the past at all. Like, I really don't think you think about the past that often. Not really. And I think that is
I don't have a lot of,
thrive
I don't have a, what? Not thinking about the past?
in your memory loss. But for real.
I think that my memory doesn't oftentimes emotionally affect me.
But most of your memory from like your childhood or from
I think
the
you
memories
have
that you talk about
have an exceptional memory.
No, I know I do, but this isn't about me. This is about you.
Great.
And I think that when you remember things, it's often positive.
Yes.
And so maybe you're just like a really happy person. Like you're just born into happiness. But you're very willing to accept change and new things. And I think that if, God forbid, something happened tomorrow where we would have to like up and leave where we live, or something like just dramatic happened in our lives where we'd have to just make a quick change.
Yeah. Do you want to know when that happened? When I started feeling this way more?
Yeah.
Because it was when my mom got sick.
I feel like I don't want to.
Oh, no, undermine that thing that I just said.
No, I'm not going to.
No, do it. No. I had always been that way to a degree, but that's when I felt like, oh, literally none of this other stuff matters to me. You know what I mean? Like the other things that I was valuing over this thing that could be taken away from me in a matter of time, in a matter of like months, which is what I thought at the time.
I remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I think then I was just like, oh, the time that because I didn't oftentimes express it, but I would get like nervous. I would get anxious about stuff. I would think a lot about things. And after that happened, I was like, oh, yeah, I didn't understand the things that I was assigning value. I was just like, oh, those things are.
What were the things that you were assigning value?
I think now I assign value like almost entirely to what's going to benefit my interpersonal relationships and my own happiness. You know? Mm-hmm. I think that, and obviously like career things are going to affect overall happiness. And I have goals within those things. But to me, it's like, oh, I don't know, just when I just had never felt that. So I had never just had like a moment in my life where like I've had grandparents pass away. I've had all those things happen. I've never had a moment where just like my perspective switched.
And it switched pretty immediately.
It changed really quickly. And granted, everything was okay, but I still had that moment where I was like, oh, the things, because I think I remember we were shooting something and I was really anxious and nervous because it was like a thing. And then my mom called me to tell me what was going on. And I was like, oh, finished the shoot. Got it in like a few takes. Was not nervous anymore. It was like, oh, this stuff, obviously it matters. But I think like I can kind of step out of situations more
Mm-hmm.
and go, things are gonna be okay. Obviously, it's like valid to feel sad about that. Like, I'm not saying, oh, it's not valid to be upset about things or sad or fucking like depressed, because like there's a reason to feel that way. But I realized over like external stresses, over things that like for example, when I dropped the camera
Yeah.
and I broke it like a moron, I was
Mhm.
like really upset. I was like, I had like that initial reaction, and then after I was like, what is being upset gonna do for me about this? How can we just move on and fix it? Because I don't want this to affect my relationships. Because I could have just been grumbly until it got fixed. Because I was really, because initially I was like really sad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like that. I don't know. I view stress very differently than I used to, or even like certain things about work. I would literally like, I'd probably be like laying awake trying to like think, oh, how am I gonna fix it? It'll work itself out.
I feel like there was a part of you that was already like that though. A little
I
bit.
agree. It's just I think that I was still combative. Like my dad is kind of that way, where he's like, I don't know, he gets neurotic about certain things, but he kind of has this duality within himself that
Mm-hmm.
can be either hyper neurotic or very laid back about certain things.
Mm-hmm.
My mom had a huge shift after
After she got sick.
recovered.
What do you think that was?
I think her how I felt for her magnified by like a million.
Really?
Because she used to be like super hyper about, a ton of things. She used to not understand, you know, she used to be not very understanding about, happiness.
What do you mean?
Because even like the conquest of like the pursuit of happiness, it was not really consideration prior to our generation
Mm-hmm.
amongst like common people, and I don't think my mom really subscribed to that. She I think she also went through life going, "Oh, I'm just going to do the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, and then everything's going to be okay. I'm just going to work, and then I'm going to have kids, and then I'm going to have a family, and then I'm going to retire." And she said, "I spent my whole life waiting for that next step to happen, and I was looking forward to retirement my whole life. I got sick, I retired." Or no, I retired, and then it's just like, oh, what? I was waiting for this moment my whole life. And it was the first day of her retirement. She woke up and she just didn't know what to do. And tying that back to like where we are in our lives, where this is like probably the biggest transition we're going to face until the day we retire, which is we're in a moment where we have loosened structure in our lives. Obviously, we want to still build a ton of things, like a podcasting empire. But, I mean, there's no structure that's given to us other than the times like we have to work, which is in between of the stuff that we want to do. There's no structure to that, like in school, where we were faced with the dreams and hopes that we wanted and kind of handed schedules and handed assignments that seemed so big at the time. We don't have that anymore, and it feels really scary to try.
Yeah, it does.
It's so scary. It was so easy for me in college to like just watch people try and laugh at them.
You did laugh at people who tried.
But now it's like, and then me like being like, oh, I'm not even gonna try. It's fine. Trying is so scary. And like caring about things and then trying.
Do you feel like you care and try more now?
I
than you
feel
did
like
in
I have so
college?
much more empathy for people who try and fail. And I feel like I do try more.
But
And
do
I
you think
allow
that's
myself.
just because, and I don't mean this in a bad way,
Yeah.
but you were the kind of person, especially in college, who things have always come very naturally to you.
Yeah.
So do you feel that you never had to try really?
I knew how to
Because you did kind of like, I think even now, like there is sort of this like I don't know, and I've got kind of adopted it too, where it's like, well, why are they even trying? Like I think you
Right.
were almost like annoyed by the
Well, okay.
try
Okay.
hardness.
I think I saw certain things that
And I
were,
understand why. Some people kiss ass.
well, beyond like kiss ass. It's like, oh, I'm gonna make like a musical about like, you know, and we're like, or like, I don't know. I'm not even gonna bash that, but just I'm gonna even bleep that out. But, I saw or people would like really get into like the just the not even like the product. That's what I get frustrated by. It's people who get together and go like, oh,
We're doing something.
and I think it was more the case in college than I see it now, because now there's like some semblance of stakes to it.
Well, I think in college,
But in college
what I
it was
realized
like,
it was like, how many things can I accomplish in this short amount of time, and it doesn't matter the quality.
yes.
And I think that frustrated me a lot. But now we're just faced with so much time. I feel like I don't even know. I don't even know what's being made. I've obviously lost touch with many of those people.
And and your sexuality. And my sexuality.
Right.
I stare at rocks all day and I go, can I get into that? Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, and like what we were saying before, it's like having that big transition where it's just like something entirely. We've never been faced with this much time, and also time moves by so fast. And I still confront myself with moments where I'm like, oh, what's the next thing? But then I'll never forget that feeling where I thought that something so big was going to be taken away from me. Or not taken away from me, but just gone.
Yeah.
And I think that whenever I feel like that today, I have to say, yeah, I have to remind myself that I need to just look around for just a second.
Do you ever feel like you want to spend more time with your parents then?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
What?
I just feel like you don't see them often
I know.
for the way that you're saying that you feel.
I mean,
And
that's
I know
also
that
like
they
just how
kind
I.
of miss you,
No, I know.
but I understand what you're saying. I agree with you. Sometimes I get the impulse to move home, though, but I think that's different.
Yeah. I mean, do you sometimes? I mean, do you sometimes feel like? I mean, what do you think has been like the root of the way you've been feeling lately?
Right now, or when
Yeah.
I think about moving home?
Not necessarily about moving home, but just I think generally.
Right now, I just feel like I haven't accomplished anything in my life. And I feel so disappointed in myself every single day I wake up. Like,
And I was feeling that way too, especially like at
but
times.
when were you feeling that way? Because I've never seen you feel that way. But maybe I just can't read your feelings.
I felt that way at times in like college, and not as much now. But
But I think, like,
in college I felt that way, but then I also and it wasn't all the time, but there would be moments where I'd think about it a lot, and then I would just have to remind myself, and it's really hard because at the same time you're kind of invalidating how you're feeling, but also at the same time I had to just say, is this like anxiety that I'm feeling, or jealousy, or hopelessness? Is it pushing me to work more? In which case, I still don't think that that's healthy, but at least it's yielding some sort of usefulness. Or is it just totally, putting my head in a toilet and flushing it?
No, I know it's not helping me. Like, I know that it's really bad for me, and I know that it's awful, and I'm not doing well, but like, I don't know how to stop it. It feels all consuming, honestly.
Yeah.
And that also just sounds really selfish saying.
No, it's not selfish at all.
I don't know, like,
I think that
I also think
that
where we live and like
yeah. Oh my God.
our career and like just social media in general and like everything that I see is
So bad.
I just like I'm not even comparing myself to people that I know anymore. Like, I'm comparing
It's crazy.
myself
We're
to
comparing ourselves to Olivia Rodrigo.
No, but like what I thought today was I was like, oh my God, like I am literally like so envious of random people's careers. I don't even know these people. I have no relation to these people. I'm jealous of like the Snapchat model that I see on, social media, and I
Yeah.
am so upset that I can't be her and that I don't know how to get to her place and that I don't know how to make this career for myself. And I've started thinking, like, is this even about acting anymore? Like, is this even,
Yeah.
or am I just trying to like get people's approval for, I don't even know what,
That's
because I don't even
interesting.
know what I do anymore. Like, and to be honest, I think what's really like killing me is that I'm not acting anymore. Like, I haven't acted in a year. I feel like that is so tied to my identity.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that sounds dramatic, but it's like here in Los Angeles, everyone is an actor and everyone is at a higher caliber than you are. And everyone is at a more successful caliber than you are. And it's really hard to remember.
And that's true here. Yeah.
It's true here. If I went home to San
But
Francisco and I was like, oh yeah, I went to local ice cream shop and I was like, oh yeah, I'm trying to be an actor in LA, they'd be like, oh, that's so cool. But
maybe.
But here it's like, what?
No, keep going. Here, yeah, it's like it's everywhere, and you're like, yeah. I saw Boston Mike, the chess player, and he was like, "Oh, you're an actor. Good luck to you, kid." He was a good guy. He was a nice man.
Right.
He's great at chess.
You saw him at the gym, so that must have been a long time ago.
God damn.
Sorry.
God damn. That was more than I gave you tonight.
You can bleep that one out too.
No, that was good. I appreciate
No,
that.
that was mean.
No, I need to be.
No,
I
that
need
was
to be
really
just
mean.
like.
You went to the gym like 3 weeks ago or something.
I think it's been longer,
Yeah.
but thank you for like trying to lie about that.
No. I'm sorry. I'm being a bitch.
Not at all.
No, I totally am.
No, but this is like what I was talking about is
Like, I know that none of this stuff matters, but I also...
that wasn't my thesis. That wasn't what I was trying to say, and I think it came across that way. I'm saying my perspective on certain things changed. However, how I do feel weird having no structure given to me in my life.
I think you thrive off of no structure.
I do.
To be completely honest, I don't think that is a comparison that you can make.
I can't make it in comparison to you because
I don't think you can make it in comparison to anyone.
You're Javert. Like,
Aaron.
you need the Order of the Stars, baby girl. Otherwise, you fall off the thing
That's
into the dam, into the river.
Understand. No, I think that this life that we're currently living is your dream life.
No, it's not. It's
But
crazy when you say that.
No, but you're so happy all the time.
Yeah, because what is the alternative?
I don't know. It's not like I wake up every morning and I'm like, I could choose to be happy or choose to be sad. Like, I don't feel like I can choose.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
But you feel like it's a choice that you have.
I think that I can weigh the things that I have to be thankful for, and obviously this is not all that I want to achieve in my life, and if God forbid you woke up in the middle of the night and shot me in the head because you're craving chaos and you want to do something tonight.
Aaron, I would never do that to you.
Right. But I would not probably be thrilled with that. However, where I still have goals, and there's still things that I want to do. That being said, I could still probably say, hey, it's okay right now, and I'm just going to work as hard as I can.
Sometimes I do think that, and I think
Yeah.
it's okay right now. But then I'm like, if it's okay right now, then why am I wasting my time here? That's genuinely what I feel. And I think that's the most like upsetting part to me, is that if I was living my life for pure happiness, I don't know if I would be here.
Well, it's like the yeah, I agree.
But I think you would.
You think I would live right here, right now?
I think based on what we can afford, you would. I don't think you would go home.
No.
And
where do you think you would be if you were living solely for happiness? If I was living solely for happiness, I don't think I would be here either. But it's like,
I think I would be closer to home.
But not home?
Maybe. I don't know. I think that if I really like valued everything in my life, I think I would want to serve my family more. Why are you laughing at that?
I'm not laughing.
You just said that same thing.
Yeah, of course.
But you wouldn't.
I just think we live in the middle of nowhere.
What do you mean?
Like, I think like you live in like a really cool place to live.
You're from Hawaii, Aaron.
Yeah.
That's not the middle of nowhere.
Like I would love to live in San Francisco. I don't think I'd want to like root in Hawaii, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't know. Also, sometimes when I have these conversations, I'm like, well, it really doesn't matter what happens.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
Like, nothing really matters when... I don't know.
What do you mean by that?
Like, I don't know. When you talk about, like, just trying to have this pursuit of happiness, really nothing... If nothing else matters, then nothing really matters at all.
But I think that there's an investment in the things that you want to achieve, which is what you're doing right now.
But I think that drives me absolutely crazy.
Of course.
Like, I realized today, I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to be happy. Like, I'm never going to be happy.
But why are you telling yourself that?
Choosing what I love.
Yeah.
Choosing this path. Because it's like, if I'm comparing myself to someone now, imagine if I achieved some small level of success and I'm comparing myself to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And then I win, let's say, an Oscar. And I'm like, well, but I wasn't as good as that person.
Right.
I'm not as famous as that person. I'm not as pretty as that person. I'm not as young looking as that person. I'm not as this and this and this and this. And it's just going to keep getting more and more if I keep going down this path.
And do you think that the mindset... Because I think that that's a very... I think most people think that way.
I do not wake up every morning and think I'm living a healthy life. I'm living a healthy mindset.
That would be fucking insane if you thought that, though. That was the first thing you woke up. If you jokered in the mirror and was like, I'm living a healthy mindset, I'd send you away.
Well, maybe you should send me away.
I'd drive you right to Kaiser Permanente and drop you off at the front. And say, she just said she lives a healthy mindset and she did the Joker thing in the mirror. And they'd be like, oh my God. Get her in immediately. All the pregnant women that are waiting to give birth to babies, send them to the back of the line.
I don't know what I'm saying, Aaron.
I get exactly what you're saying.
I don't know. I always felt like I was supposed to do something great with my life.
And that can be true.
But not... I feel like I'm just living a very mediocre life.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I think if I'm going to live a mediocre life, why not help my family while I'm at it?
Right.
Like, if I'm going to have this mundane life, why not give back to the people who gave to me? And then I'm like, then why am I here?
But, and this is the B. This is the B-U-T-T. This, you being here right now.
But me being here, it's like with the strike and everything, right? We're not getting auditions.
Okay.
I already wasn't auditioning in person. I was sending everything over tape. So it's like, really, why are we here? Because we don't see anyone. We don't leave our house.
What's a seed on day
we
one?
We don't get... What?
What's a seed in the soil on day one?
I know. I'm being negative, and I'm
no,
sorry.
You're not.
I'm sorry.
Why are you apologizing? I'm not trying to shut down how you're feeling or say.
It's okay. You are the one who talked about your mom being sick. You should be crying.
Oh my gosh.
I keep saying everything wrong in this podcast.
No, you're not.
I'm bleep out like everything. That was so mean too. What I just said. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You just literally jokered. You did it the exact way Joaquin did it.
I hate you.
You literally did. I think they're filming the sequel. Gotta get you in there. We'll just send them the podcast.
Yeah. Oh my
They'll
God.
recast last minute.
God, I'm so tired of crying on this podcast just because it's the only time that we talk about our feelings.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why. Because, yeah, you didn't cry today. You were having a good time.
Well, I was upset, though.
Yeah, that's fair. How do you feel now?
I feel really sad, but, like, I'm happy that I'm feeling something.
That's good. I think that it's not you can't always see the returns that you're putting into things. And there's a reason.
I don't even feel like I'm working hard every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I see all these things that say that you need to get up and work hard for things. And I've said this like a million times on this podcast.
We're going to overlay this. Okay, keep doing this monologue. But underneath, it's going to be like people working out at Gold's Gym. It's going to be Pumping Iron, the movie.
I have to say, going to the gym helps me so much, though.
Yeah, good.
It's like the pump of testosterone that I need to get through my day. Yeah. No, sometimes I just feel fucking lonely here.
That's totally fair.
I feel so lonely, and like I can't even go out and see people because I don't want anyone to see me like this, and I don't even want to see anyone. Like, genuinely, I don't want to be around anyone.
Mm-hmm. That feeling of I feel lonely, so I'm gonna retreat further is very common too.
But it's like when I am with my family, it was never like that.
Yeah, because your family will always exist differently.
And I miss that. And sometimes I'm like, why am I here?
Because
when I could be really happy there.
Uh-huh. But you will always the grass is literally wherever you are, it's always greener on the other side. And the second you go back home because you think that's a safer choice.
Here. I know, and I am always upset when I go back home. And so then I just think, am I just an unhappy person then? Who's cranky and old and cold all the time?
The last part, and then sometimes you get a little cranky when you don't have a fresh glass of water, which you don't have anymore because I drank it all. And then it's okay to feel freaking upset sometimes and sad. Man.
Sometimes, though, I feel like I'm living with a superhuman.
What does that mean?
I mean, you are always so happy and you never feel sadness. You feel frustration.
Yeah.
And you feel like anger and annoyance, specifically toward me.
Hey, it's okay.
But you're the most positive person I know, aside from maybe my abuelita. And it's
I-
such a wonderful thing. It
I'm-
also makes me feel like I'm not needed sometimes, or that I'm going crazy. And
I think I'm positive, but I think I'm a very cynical person.
really, I don't think you're cynical at all.
Really?
What do you think you're cynical about?
I think I get very cynical about, like, for example, if, like, someone's talking to me about something they're doing or something.
Well, you're realistic.
I'll
I think
contextualize.
the most optimistic people are realistic. Like my mother. She's so optimistic and she's so brutally realistic.
Right.
My father is so pessimistic. So
Yeah.
pessimistic. And it's because of his imaginative thinking.
You think that's it? That could be it.
I know, because I have that same issue. Because
Right.
I am always thinking, what if? What if? And I swear to you, Aaron, I think the greatest what ifs. I think of my life as this beautiful thing that could
And
happen.
that all can happen.
But I also think of the darkest what ifs.
That's true.
And my mind
you
goes,
wanna
and I
know?
don't know if you think of the greatest what ifs every day, but you also don't think of the darkest what ifs every day.
I don't think of the darkest what ifs. I do think of the greatest at times. And I think the issue is you think of the greatest what ifs as future tense, right? Because they're to come. But I think you think of the worst things that could happen as if they could happen literally in 2 hours from now. And I think that that's where
Well, because they don't want to wait for them to happen. If they're going to happen, I want it to
the bad things.
Yeah.
But that hasn't happened yet.
I know. I just don't want to be wasting my life. That's my biggest fear.
Of course. And I think that, again, it comes back to when we get so deep into the negative what ifs, it pushes us. It can do two things. Or it can do three things, although it rarely does the third, which is help us avoid those things from happening. I think it rarely pushes us in this direction. I think it often does two things.
No, you're right, because I'm manifesting them by saying them out loud.
No, it's not even
Do you
manifesting.
think I'm doing it right now?
No, I don't think you are. I think that you could be doing two things. One, by thinking about them so often, first thing in the morning, Joker in the mirror, chaos.
I don't Joker in the mirror first thing every morning.
You did this morning.
I don't even remember that.
I remember. I was half asleep. Thought about it. She just jokered in the mirror.
Aaron, you did not even open your eyes this morning.
I could hear you. Anyway, continuing on. And it does two things. First of all, it's really brutal on your body and in your mind. And then B, I think it can result in making consecutive decisions that don't lead to those outcomes, but certainly that don't lead to the best possible outcomes,
I don't know how to change.
And I'm not, and this is not me making comments that you need to change.
I do need to change, and I want to change.
You're a good guy.
I want to make choices every day that are bringing me to my good goals.
Yeah. And just remember.
But what if my head's getting in there too much?
Well, for example, and very simply, it's like the feeling of loneliness. And I feel that way at times too. I mean, I sit on my computer 8 hours a day for work. That feeling of loneliness, of wanting real connection, but also going out there and meeting new people or seeing your friends, trying. It's really hard to do that.
No, I know, and that's
really scary.
Hard to do that, but
so we allow ourselves.
I'm also at the point in my life though where like
to sit back.
I.
My God,
am
so itchy.
Where?
I don't want to say.
Get up and itch then.
No, keep going. We should probably end soon too.
No, I'm just at the point in my life where like, all of my close friends are not here. Like, and I I'm not the type of person that really wants to like go out and meet new people. I don't know. I know that sounds cynical, but I do like being by myself more than I like being with other people.
But you also
Unless
said
they're my best, closest, dearest friends, and then I spend time with those people.
right.
But I know that I want chaos and I want all these things, but do I actually want that? Because if I did, I would be going out clubbing every day and I wouldn't be coming home to you every night, to be honest.
Right.
That's a choice that I made for a stable life.
Why'd you do the gun thing?
It was a point.
Oh, okay. With your thumb up.
Aaron.
I think that, these are things like you draw in your head. Because again, it's like, what if I was doing this thing?
Yeah.
That's not saying you want those things.
I know deep down that I'm on the right path and that I'll figure it out.
That is all I wanted you to admit. But that's a scary thing to admit to yourself at the same time, because it admits the feelings of, what we're thinking the whole time is, oh, I'm so unhappy at times. I'm really scared. This is really nerve-wracking. I'm so anxious. I could literally end this tomorrow by packing my bags and leaving. But you just validated that these feelings you're feeling, there's a reason behind them, and the reasons you're putting yourself through these, it's correct. That's all I was waiting for you to say for like 2 weeks. There's a reason you're doing this. And there's a reason for this life. And now, your life ends. But what does have to end is this podcast, because we have 3 more minutes left till our card is full.
What are we at?
We're at 1 hour and 11 minutes.
Oh, that wasn't too long.
Yeah, I picked up at the end. It was good. We got a revelation out of you.
Yeah, I'm sorry if these podcasts haven't really been that spicy. I'm trying to work on it, but I don't have a lot of interesting things going on right now.
I think people are interested in you.
That's because there's a tiny versions of you watching this.
And going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I didn't give you much of a show today. I'm sorry about that, boys.
Aaron's.
Parents. Little guys.
But, well, we appreciate you coming in to listen to us. And my God, we'll see you good-looking people next week. So thank you for tuning in.
Gonna go to bed so I can get up at 5 a.m. and do this day all over again.
Do you want to say us out?
Yeah, so AI is real and it's coming and Aaron supports it.
Oh, wait. Whoa.
Fee.
That was really weird. Oh, you were doing that. I thought we were getting the craziest fucking feedback. I was freaking out. I thought our whole recording was ruined. It's just you.
Fee fa fo fum bitch.
Also, where do you want our background to be? Because I'm gonna AI it.
No, you're really bad at doing that.
No, I'm gonna try it.
I don't want to do it.
What kind of painting do you want? Do you want a painting of a clown?
Why do you keep AIing things?
What kind of painting do you want? Name a painting that you want on our wall. Please.
I don't know any famous paintings. I like the ones of the ballerinas.
Okay, we'll do a ballerina one. Have a good one, you guys.
Fee fa fo fum bitch.
I heard that.